Hello, in this session we will discuss about the integrated form of rate expression for second order reaction. In second order reaction we will discuss two types of reaction. In type 1 we will discuss only a case when only a particular single type of reactant is there and it is being converted into product P and the rate follows second order kinetics. So the rate law expression can be for this particular reaction A going to product P and through the rate constant K2. K2 is rate constant for this second order reaction. So I can write the rate law as R is equal to K2 A to the power raised to 2. So this is second order with respect to reactant A. Similarly, I can also write the rate law expression in form of differential form. If I do that, I can write rate is equal to minus dA over dt. It is in form of reactant. I can also write dP over dt. That is in form of product. For product, it will be positive. For reactant, it is negative because reactant concentration is decreasing with respect to time. Both the rate law expressions are same. So I can equate them. I can write minus dA over dt is equal to K2 A square. If I rearrange the values, I take the time to the RHS side, I'll get minus dA over A square is equal to K2 dt. If I integrate this differential form of rate expression, what I'll be using the integration limit starting from A0 to A and the time limit starts from 0 to t. If I do this simple integration, I'll be getting 1 over A minus 1 over A0 is equal to Kt. What is K2t? What is A? A is reactant concentration after some time t. A0 is initial reactant concentration. Then if I rearrange, I'll get 1 over A is equal to 1 over A0 plus K2t. Now this is a form of straight line equation. So if y is equal to mx plus c, so if I draw a plot by taking 1 over A in my y-axis and time in my x-axis, I'll get a slope, positive slope, and that slope value will be K2 and the intercept value will be 1 over A0. This is important. In case of first order reaction, we are getting a negative slope minus K1, but here we are getting a positive slope and y-axis will be 1 over A and x-axis will be time t. This is subscript A0. So suppose there is a different condition, we will discuss a different condition where the reactant is associated with some stoichiometric coefficient A and it is giving a product P in a second order reaction. So what will be my rate expression? My rate expression will remain as such in equation 5, but we have to multiply the stoichiometric coefficient, the small a, multiplied with K2t. The other things will be remaining constant. This can also be derived, but I will not do that. Then we will discuss what is the half-life expression for this type 1 second order reaction. Again, in half-life, the reactant concentration is equal to A0 over T over 2 means at half-life the reactant has decreased 50% of its initial value. So if I substitute this condition A is equal to A0 over 2 in this equation 5, I substitute A is equal to A0 over 2, then I will get an expression like equation 6 which says T half or half-life is equal to 1 over K2 A0. Now look at this equation 6. It says the half-life of a second order for type 1 reaction, but this half-life is dependent upon the initial concentration of the reactant. But in case of first order reaction, the half-life was independent on the concentration of the reactant. Now we'll use this equation 5 to plot a graph. As I said, if we plot a graph of the reactant concentration decreases with respect to time, exponentially decreases with respect to time. Again, the rate of exponential decrease will depend upon the rate constant, the effective rate constant. Similarly, we can draw a ln graph. If I take ln 1 by 1 over A and time t, then I will get a linear graph with positive slope. Okay, so then we will discuss type 2 second order reaction. In type 2 second order reaction, what happens? We have to take two different reactants. Means suppose in type 1 we have only one type of reactant. In type 2 we have two types of reactant, reactant A and reactant B. Suppose their initial concentrations are A0 and B0 and product P was not there at initial state. Now after some time A0 has been reduced to A and B0 has been reduced to B, and we can also write A0 minus X and B0 minus X x, and P has some amount of P will be formed after time t. Let that amount be x. So I can write product concentration is X. So I'll set up the rate law expression. I can write R is equal to K2 A into B, A concentration of A and concentration of B. And I can also write the rate law expression in form of differential form. If I do that, I can write minus d over dt minus dB over dt is equal to dP over dt. Product is forming, that's why it is positive. So both the rate laws can be equated. So if I do, I'm more interested, I'll take the product expression dP over dt is equal to K2 AB. Instead of A, I can write A0 minus X, and instead of B concentration, I can write B0 minus X. If I rearrange, I'll take the time into RHS and the concentration terms into LHS. I'll rearrange according to equation 7, and I integrate the expression. And what will be my integration limit? We have taken product concentration. We have taken here while setting up the expression. We have taken product concentration here. Means product is forming with respect to time. So initial product concentration was 0, and after some time product is the X amount of product is formed. So concentration limit is 0 to X and time limit is 0 to T. Now how to integrate this one? This can be integrated. This equation 7 can be integrated using partial fraction method. This table, the expression inside this border explains what is partial fraction method. So in a partial fraction method, suppose dx a0 minus x b0 minus x can be represented as 1 over a0 minus b0 integration dx b0 minus x minus dx over a0 minus x. This is partial fraction method representation of the integration. It is important to note a0 and b0 are constants. That's why they are out of the integration. Now we will substitute this expression in equation 7. So in the LHS of equation 7, I will substitute the partial fraction outcome. So if I do that, I will get an expression like this, and the RHS will give me integration of RHS will give me time plus some integration constant. So that integration constant C can be determined by putting the limit at time is equal to 0, x becomes 0. So if we substitute this limit at time is equal to 0, x is equal to 0, then I can find out the value of C. Now again I will substitute the value of C in my total expression. So I can rearrange and find an expression for K2. What is K2? K2 is rate constant expression for the second order reaction. Now we have, while setting up the partial fraction condition, we have choose that the initial concentration of A0 is greater than B0. There are two reactants A and B. We have chosen that A0 is greater than B0. If we do according to this, we will get an expression in the like equation 8, the first expression. Now suppose it is the reverse case, means reactant B is present in more amount than reactant A, then we will get an expression, the second expression of equation 8. Now what happens, we discuss two conditions, A0 is greater than B0 and B0 is greater than A0. Now the third condition, when A0 is equation 8 is when A0 is not equal to B0. When A0 is not equal to B0, either it can be means one reactant can be greater than the other one. Equation 8 explains that condition. Now there is another possibility is there, means both the reactants A and B, the initial concentration of both the reactants can be same, and if that is the condition, then what will be the rate expression? The rate expression will essentially become the type 1 kind of expression. Means type 1 only we have one type of reactant. So in the type 2 we have two types of reactant, but in type 2 also, if both the reactants are, the initial concentration of both the reactants are same, then type 2 expression will also behave like type 1 reaction. So what was the type 1 rate expression? The type 1 rate expression in form of A, we can write 1 over A is equal to 1 over A0 plus K2T, or in form of B, I can write 1 over B is equal to 1 over B0 plus K2T. Now we will discuss one more condition. Suppose A and B are not present in simple form, they are associated with some stoichiometric coefficient A and B, and they are giving rise to product P in a second order reaction. So what will be the expression? The expression will almost be same as equation 8, but the denominators will be associated with those stoichiometric coefficients. That is the only change that we have to take care of. finally, the concept of half-life does not apply to second order reaction of type 2 because there are two reactants are there, so we cannot apply the half-life concept to this type 2 second order reaction. Now this table is a summary of what we have discussed so far, starting from zero order to second order reaction, and we can extrapolate our understanding to third order reaction or higher order kinetics. So I mentioned that reaction type, the order, the rate law, corresponding rate law, and corresponding half-life period. So there is a general expression for half-life period also. Here n is order of reaction. N is the order of reaction, and if we put n is equal to 1, then we can understand that for first order reaction why the half-life is independent of initial concentration of the species. For zero order reaction, half-life is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactant. For second order reaction, half-life is inversely proportional to the initial concentration of reactant, and for first order it is independent of initial concentration of the reactants. So with this I'll stop here. Next session we'll discuss method of determination of orders. Thank you.